Anya, thank you so much for being here for our talk show In the Moment, focused entirely on living your best life. I'm here now with my co-host, Gelie Akhenblit, who is the founder of Networking Phoenix, Zenobia Mertel, who is a life and style columnist with InspiredMedia360.com, and in the moment with us today, this beautiful lady right here, Latasha Causey, who is the co-chair of the Valley of the Sun United Ways Women United. I tried to memorize that so I wouldn't have to read it, but it's a mouthful, and that's just one of your titles. Yeah. We are so glad to have you here with us today talking about women on a mission. And you're part of this big group of women here in Arizona and actually across the globe who are doing some really incredible things. And we'll be talking about that in just a moment. But I want to lay the foundation about you. Sure. You're the mom of 2 children. Yes. And you have a busy career, but you do so much community work. What inspires you?
Absolutely. You know, really, Carey, it's just serving something bigger than myself and just really have this passion to give back. I'm a Phoenix native, grew up on the west side of Phoenix, and just have always been taught by my parents to just do something good for someone else, even if you don't have much. So that's why I do it, and I really want my boys to grow up to do that as well. So
when you were growing up, do you remember a time when, you know, you might have been trying to navigate a tough time in your life when you felt that giving back really helped you get through?
Yeah, you know, what I will tell you is, so for my parents, both of my parents worked. They worked very hard. My dad had a career at UPS for over 30 years. They were both outside of the house, and so we would go to church, and we would always give back through church activities and church events. And so really, our foundation and our faith is what got us through anything. But for us, my parents we never knew if we didn't have much. I didn't really know that there was much more or larger things in Arizona until I went to Arizona State. And yeah. A broader perspective of people.
You exactly.
Like, I'm like, whoa, there's more than the west side of Phoenix.
Tell us about Women United.
Yes, absolutely. So Women United is a group of women who are out to advocate and serve within this community. We have just under 700 women that are out there doing that right now. We're always asking for more, but really they are looking to give back to the children. That has been our foundation in the past, is children and children hunger is really what we focus on.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, because you sent me over some information, and we were talking before the show about how much incredible work you guys have done. Women United has helped raise more than $400,000 over the past 2 years to ensure that 75,000 children valley-wide receive a nutritious breakfast every morning in their classrooms. Why have you identified this as a specific part of your mission?
Yes, so you know, I don't know if you know the statistic or not, but 1 in 4 children do not know where their next meal is coming from. In our mind, that should not be an option. You shouldn't have to go hungry. And so breakfast in the classroom, the first meal of the day, is the most important meal of the day, and it helps with being able to learn. I mean, when you're hungry, when you're starting, I don't know how you are when you're hungry, but when I'm hungry, it's not good, and I'm not thinking about anything else but that. And so truly, it is an opportunity for our kids to start now, so that in the future, you know, they just have a chance. That's all they need, is an opportunity to have a chance and eat.
You guys have a big event coming up, yes. And you're always looking, as you said, for women to join your group. And Gelie focuses a lot on networking. What do you think is the power of women coming together, identifying problems, and figuring out how to solve those problems?
Absolutely. Well, you know, women as a whole, we know how to navigate, right? We know how to network. We know how to get together with our girlfriends. So just imagine what that does when you do it with multiple girlfriends, right? And multiple people to truly give back to what's passionate to you. And when you talk about networking and talk about your connections, there are so many opportunities for us to just give someone a starting chance, and it always starts with the young children or the young child, to be able to give them a chance. And the women of this Women United group are very passionate about doing that.
Do you think, and there's a lot of discussions, I don't want to veer off into any political stuff.
Sure.
It's not what we do on this show.
Yes.
But do you think that more conversations need to be had about empowering women and about equality for women?
Yes, absolutely. I think that the fact that it's starting to come up now and that it's okay to talk about is a good thing, but we have a long way to go. And the best person or the best people to talk about that are other women, other successful women, and then again, making sure that they reach back and help another woman. So instead of us being, if you will, part of a problem or part of the issue, how about we help each other so that then ultimately everyone else will help us as well to have a fighting chance, have equal pay, and have have those equality opportunities.
What women inspire you?
Oh, I mean, there are so many. I mean, you know, the standard thing to say is your mother, which she is an amazing inspiration. My mother is amazing. She helps me tremendously with my children. But as well, when you think about people like Michelle Obama, you think about Oprah, those are people who have truly done something very powerful for themselves, but they have a platform and they continuously reach back to help other people and other women.
And by the way, we were talking about this, but Women United is actually trending on Twitter today.
Yes.
It's pretty powerful that you were here on this very day.
Yes.
When you see that topic trending, what is your reaction?
I just get excited, right? I get very excited about that. I know we're here to talk about Women United. We talked earlier when I walked in, it's also the International Day of the Girl. That is powerful. The fact that we have an International Day, I know we have International Day of the Woman as well. So for us to be able to, again, have those conversations and the power of social media and women are out there, I mean, that just excites me.
Latasha, I just have to ask you,
Yes.
just on a personal note,
Yes.
I mean, how do you push yourself to keep going on days when you're tired? You have two boys, you have a husband, you know, you have family obligations, work obligations, but still you do so much for the community. How on those days when you're tired and you feel like, you know what, I have nothing left to give, where does it come from?
You know, it's this, first of all, I pray, right? It's this internal passion that I have. And, you know, really the best way to see things in action is when you go. So I've gone to Breakfast in the Classroom multiple times. As you mentioned, I serve on various boards and I go in action and also take my boys, my kids with me. And when I see the smiles on their faces about those that they've helped, that makes me feel really good. And it makes me know that I'm doing something right by giving back to this community. So who needs sleep anyway?
Sleep when you're dead.
Exactly.
Well, we're so glad to have you on with us
Thank
today
you.
on this Women United, hashtag Women United Day. Now it is time to thrive, and if you've been following along with our show, Gelie has talked a lot about her entrepreneurial journey, and she took a sabbatical over the summer, and one of the things you learned is that it really helps you clear your head and clear space for creativity. So Gel, I want to talk about that and how it's allowed you to thrive now on a whole new level. But first, I do want to share with our audience the quote from Entrepreneur magazine that you sent me that was so great. This post is called "The Secret to Increased Productivity, Taking Time Off." And they say it comes down to this: you get more done quicker when you step back and recharge the brain and body. Studies show that performance increases after breaks of all durations, from extended vacations down to micro breaks of 30 seconds. Tell us what you've learned, Gel.
Well, what I've learned is that I do need to sleep. And I took about 3 to 4 months off. Initially, I was only going for about 2, and then at 2 wasn't enough. I took 3. At 3, that wasn't enough. I took 4. And what was interesting is that about 4 months, but my mind actually started to get bored, because initially all I wanted to do was just sleep and chill out and not really focus on anything. And then just naturally my mind was like, okay, well, that was great, but now I actually want to do something. And so it gave me and we can read these articles all day long, and even that quote, you know, but again, it's like, it was really neat for me to actually experience that, because this is the first time since I launched my company almost 10 years ago that I took like 3 to 4 months off. I mean, that's not really heard of.
Yeah.
So it was an incredible thing that happened. And so what I did was I have this big event that I've been hosting for the community since 2009. So I've hosted 21 of these events, and so they're expecting
Networking event.
Right, these networking events. And so we get about 1,000 people attending. And I just felt like, you know, the last one that I had in April, I was like, you know what, it's time for me to change up the format, I think. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, so I canceled the one in August because I was on vacation. And going into November, again, my mind wanted to create, so I'm creating this whole, I'm calling it a signature affair. And I'm putting a whole new spin on this event. So the platform, like all my events, is really meant to bring the local professionals together so they can meet each other, network, find potential clients, resources, and whatnot. But the event itself is going to have a completely different feel. So again, the cool thing for me that I got to witness within myself is that I took a step back. I really allowed myself to let my mind relax, and then I was able to come back with this whole new vision, and now I'm able to implement. I mean, I announced the event on Monday. I think we're less than 4 weeks out.
Yeah,
I've got to pull off this entire event for my entire community of 40,000 people. I'm sure I'll do it, but the thing is, I feel like I'm going to do it. I'm not questioning
Yes.
because I have the capacity. So all these things are interesting, but the event is on Wednesday, November 8th, if anyone is interested, and all the information is on networkingphoenix.com. And again, it's a great platform for people that want to network, meet others, get involved in their community, and so we're continuing to do that.
Do you hear what she's saying about the need to recharge?
Absolutely.
Do you make that a part of your routine as well?
Absolutely. So, as our kids get summer break, every year we make sure that we take at least a couple weeks off over the summer. We take a break over the winter as well for the Christmas holiday.
What does it do for you, for your soul?
It truly recharges me, right? And I think that it gives me more passion at that time as well, right? I'm okay, I've taken a break, I've sat down for a moment, and I'm ready to go again. So I firmly believe, I do believe you do need sleep, and I do also believe you need to mentally take a moment to just recharge and regroup and pull yourself together and get your creative juices flowing.
Yeah, Gelie's on a roll.
Yeah.
Watch out, world.
That's true.
Now it is time to vibe, and Zenobia is bringing us a really cool story today. I love this story. It's kind of 2 in 1. It is a comeback story, and it's also the beautiful story of people sharing art, but not only learning how to create art, learning the business of art.
That's right. Speaking about getting the creative juices flowing, this is all about Milan Art Institute. And the story, as Carey had mentioned, is really it was a challenge, and they saw a new opportunity. This couple, John and Ellie Milan, they're artists. They were just living the life, 3 kids, raising their family, and all of a sudden the economic downturn of 2008 happened. They lost everything. I mean, everything, home, and they had to regroup. They ended up in Phoenix and somehow stumbled to Queen Creek and had a vision, really went with their passion of what we do is art. We're going to do it for others and give back in that way. They started this art institute, and it has been going really well since 2010. They have more than 200 students, but what they're doing, as Carey mentioned, is really smart. This 2-in-1 story is they provide an art education, which you could get in a college, but they condense it into 1 year, and it's a master's degree. It's a master's program, excuse me, but what they do is specifically teach old world art skills that are not found in universities now. So they take trips, they go to Europe, they take this group that is so passionate about art, the students they have, they say maybe they don't have the full skill set, but if they have passion, they can take that and turn that into a profitable and a sustainable profession. So on the flip side, they also teach them how to use their art and maneuver into the industry, how to make a living out of it. It's such a fascinating field, and how they were able to see that vision out of a tough time. They also have youth programs, which is great, that creative break for kids. And they have a youth program that just encourages kids to keep up with art and through the years. And they're also going to take advantage of what's going on with technology and mirror what they can do and they're seeing now, and use art in that way, and how to connect with galleries and all that with technology.
I love their story for so many reasons, but primarily I love the fact that even though they got knocked down, they were not afraid to recalibrate and really go for it.
Yeah, it's
That's
a great
huge.
story.
Because it can be so scary, and then you can doubt your own decision making. So bravo to them. I'm so glad we were able to talk about them on the show today. And of course, we'll put all of the information on our site, inspiredmedia360.com. Yeah. And every week we bring you a little bit of my podcast, Carey Pena Reports. I interview people who have highly inspirational stories to share. And recently I sat down with a gentleman who is very well known in Arizona, Mac Watson. He is a talk radio host on KTAR. Mac and his wife became foster parents, and they ended up adopting these 2 children. When I asked Mac if he felt like he saved these children, he said to me that they actually saved him.
What do you think your story can teach other people? As you made the point of saying earlier, how many kids are in need.
Don't be a dumbass. Oh, geez, don't. I mean, I've pushed away and rejected, and it's my wife who really, got me to realize how much more of a person I could be. I think that's the biggest thing, that I'm a full person now, Where before I was just a guy on the radio. I was a character. Ask Shannon. I mean, you know, us radio guys, we've got this facade, and I was all about this facade, and my wife was just, that's horse crap. You can be so much more.
I want to thank Mac so much for coming in and sharing his heartfelt story with us. You can listen to the entire interview, and I hope that you will, on inspiredmedia360.com. Really incredible story. Mac didn't even think a few years ago that he was going to be a parent. So to go from there, taking the leap to become a foster parent, and then just falling in love with these kids and opening his home that way, it's incredible. It's so moving. I mean, this goes to so much of the work you do in the community, is stepping outside yourself and figuring out how you can help make the world better.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And sometimes it doesn't take much, but what you just said, Carey, just stepping out there and just taking that chance, taking that leap, or even for you and your story of the arts, right? Just having the moment to just say, actually, I want to help someone else. That's all. And it could be life-changing for you as well in the moment. So I love that.
I think it is life-changing.
It is.
And now Wisdom Wednesday with one of the ladies we love, one of our IM 360 contributors, Darlene Santora, as we call her, Coach Dar. So today she's talking about how to keep it real, and she's got a bit of a challenge for us. Coach Dar?
Okay, so my weekly video is coming from Snapchat, which I've never used. I think I used it once. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is so not real. And my message today is about, if we could be like anything, let's be more real. Let's be real with each other.
Okay, this is real. This is real, no Snapchat filter. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to prove the point that we walk around this world trying to be something other than ourselves, when you have everything you need to be you, and when you're happier. So this week's challenge is, when you go to alter something, or you go to add something, or you go to do something to make yourself look better, if it's not real, try not to. Do it in limitations. The other part of this is I want us to start getting more real with our conversations. Not talking about the bad stuff over and over, or the trivial things that we watch on certain shows, because honestly, it's not going to help your mindset. So talk about something real. So let's go connect, let's get real, let's have real conversation, and let's limit all the things we do to alter ourselves, because when you take those off, what's happening is people aren't liking who they are, and I want you to love who you are, because you're beautiful.
Thank you so much, Dar. So much of what she has to say always resonates, but one thing in particular that she was touching on today is how not to allow negative conversations. Just don't even allow them in your world. You're a very successful businesswoman. Don't you think that this is a big part of being successful? Just not going down the rabbit hole.
Absolutely. One of the things I tell folks that I mentor is never go down the rabbit hole. Never give something for people to talk about. Never give anything negative for them to talk about. Kill everyone with kindness, and don't let those things in, because once you do, they don't go away. They don't go away easily. It takes some work. Don't spend that energy taking away negative things, right? Spend it on something else where you can be more impactful.
You know, my mom told me, I remember this way back from high school, that even if you are there when people are gossiping, even if you're not a part of it, you're still a part of it.
Yes.
And I don't know why, like somehow that always registered to me that I gotta just separate myself completely, and I've managed to navigate in high-level business atmospheres without ever going down that road, just because I don't even entertain the conversations.
Right.
So thank you so much, Coach Dar. Always great to have her a part of the show, of course. And now it is time to go out to lunch with Mom. So we were telling you that D-Lux, we call him David Lux, and his mom, Mama Lux, they go out to lunch once. You gotta love a guy who goes out to lunch
Love
once a
that.
week, right?
Love that.
So they were out. Now they're getting invited to grand openings. So they're like super big time. They were invited to the third location of Barrio Queen, which opened up over at Desert Ridge. And D-Lux says, quote, "We went to their kickoff party with dangerously high expectations, and we had one of the best times out we've had all year. Food was off the charts. We had some tortas and tacos and burritos. My pick for best of the night was pollo en mole poblano. And Mama Lux loved the barrio pollo tacos. He says the atmosphere was really festive. They got a great bar and even better margaritas. I'm there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Deluxe. That place just looks delicious. Is there any favorites you want to throw out there? Any favorite restaurants around town?
Well, my favorite restaurant, I support all things local, but Chelsea's Kitchen is my favorite.
Yes.
I absolutely love Chelsea's Kitchen, so I love that for any meal.
Yeah.
Their brunch
Their brunch is delicious. But as well, local coffee shops are another thing. I went to Fair Trade Coffee this morning. I don't know if anyone has heard of that off of Roosevelt. And Street Coffee. Those are two really cool, artsy.
Coffee care.
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
You had me at coffee.
Exactly.
We just have a moment left. I want to give you the final word. What would you leave people with in terms of finding more inspiration in their life to go out and really make it happen?
Yes, honestly, the thing that I would say is help someone else. You never know how much they are going to be able to inspire you. So even if take it as a selfish measure, and you will walk away with something major. So
Tasha, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you for watching. We hope you will join our growing community on inspiredmedia360.com, and that's where you can catch all of Zenobia's columns and, of course, everything that we talked about on the show today. Our main mission really is to inspire you, to motivate you, and hopefully help you to think about living your best life. Take care, everyone.